That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction
Mondays.
Monday. On a Tuesday.
Christopher?
Everybody good? What's up, man?
Yeah.
What up, Joe?
I'm not good.
You look great. Mike, sorry. Jacob
Mike
body
was
bagged
just
you.
shunned
You know what I
by
mean?
a caller who said hello
That's
to
tough.
me and then you and TJ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you put Mike on the pay no mind list because I'm a Yankee fan and he left us for the
Yeah.
Dodgers. So
Mike, you got to live with your
First place,
choices.
Dodgers right now.
Choices have consequences.
this guy. Chris?
You know, yesterday on the Overreaction Monday podcast, I said the Panthers were going to win the South.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty reasonable take. However, let's talk about the Bucs, Rich. With Baker and all the weapons, Emeka Ibuka in the draft, the Bucs, top 5 offense in 2025.
Oh, top 5 offense. We got to put the Bills there as...
Really?
Yeah, Brandon Bean pointed out they had the most points in the league last year, and they got the reigning MVP. So
I don't know about that.
It's a tall order. They're changing offensive coordinators again. That's a tall order.
Bucky Irving, year 2.
I'm with you. I hear you.
Godwin back from injury.
I know.
Evans.
I think people sleep on Kate Otten.
Kate Otten, really productive down the stretch.
Correct.
With
We have
Godwin
Jason
out.
Light on tomorrow's program.
Rashad White's still
So
there.
if Jason White is tuning in right now, I think this is a brilliant idea.
Great.
But otherwise,
Top
I
5
think,
offense.
I think it's an overreaction. What else, Chris?
Rich, you just mentioned the Bills. Bills didn't do enough this offseason
Get
to
outta
improve
here.
the offense for Josh Allen. Hoskins, you know I'm right. What did they do? What did they do on offense to support Josh Allen?
They kept everybody. They kept everybody.
What did they do? They had a Josh Palmer. Cool.
Bro.
Their running back wants out. That's a problem.
Guess where he's not going?
Out.
So, I can't take this cheese again, and I won't do it. I won't do it. Chris, we wound up apologizing to Bills Mafia on this program. Thankfully, they accepted the apology. Normally, you know, they've got long memories. Bro, we apologized to the Buffalo Bills. We
I don't
took
know.
the
I mean, all
cheese.
due respect,
We took the
Shakir
cheese.
Coleman Palmer isn't knocking my socks off.
Guess whose socks they knocked off last year? The
Oh, did I-
MVP.
Oh, I
race.
missed the parade down Niagara Falls.
All right.
Did that happen?
This guy.
It's if you don't win the parade, then it doesn't. If you
They're
don't
winning.
have a parade,
They're winning the division. They're going to be my choice to win the division. I'm off the train.
Did we hear they had the most points in NFL last
day,
year?
this broken clock is going to be right.
Oh, yes.
Which clock is that?
It tends to.
It's saying when I'm going to put my marker on somebody's reign ending, and it will finally be right. I did it for the Chiefs, and said the Raiders are going to win the division. Honestly, it's in the top 5 worst take ever, which is also the Miami Heat should not trade for Giannis. Although maybe that's going to happen.
Hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Just
Really?
hold on a second.
All right, I had no idea that's a part of our Tuesday.
Hold that beer.
Okay. Get out of here. Overreaction. Not taking it. Plus, I don't want Brendan Bean calling this program and yelling at us.
I mean, he was very aggressive on the radio.
I like it. I like GM's gone wild. Jason Light on Wednesday, Les Snead on Thursday. Stay tuned. I'm going to piss them all off. One by one.
GM's gone. I was big in the early
Yeah,
2000s.
we're finding a spot for Howie
big in the
Roseman.
2000s.
Big.
Chris?
The Steelers are playing a dangerous game at quarterback. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to stand by this. Will Howard's going to start multiple games in Pittsburgh this year.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to, if he does go there, which we have no idea. We literally don't know. He was 90% retired before he joined the Jets.
Right.
Got hurt.
Yes.
And then whatever that was last year.
He did
and
not,
now we're
he
just
did
kind
not
of
miss games
now
last
we're
year.
just kind of
He
sitting
did
around.
not miss games last year. He just missed receivers.
Here, coach.
Well done. Will Howard won a national championship and
I
was
know
a
he
very
did.
productive
I
quarterback at
agree.
K-State.
Yes.
And then there's Mason Rudolph, who this team has now gotten rid of multiple times.
Multiple games.
And brought back.
By the way, Mason Rudolph finished the season, and they made the playoffs. And he played better than Trubisky did in any part of his tenure. You could make the case that the best month of the season the Steelers have seen from a quarterback in the last few years was Mason Rudolph when they handed him a mop at the end of a game in Indianapolis. I was calling on NFL Network and said, fix the Trubisky mess. And he played well enough for them to finish the season on a nice upswing. But he's not a full season guy. So if Rodgers does miss a 2, 3, 4 game stretch, it'll be Mason Rudolph, and they're going to let this kid marinate. Multiple games is a tall order and an overreaction. Man, I rejected you quite a bit on the pod.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get one right.
Well, it may not be this one. I know you love this guy, Rich, but when I look about what's going on in Minnesota, the Vikings should have gotten more J.J. McCarthy insurance than Sam Howell. All due respect.
Well, first of all, with all due respect, you needed to say that first before you disrespected my guy.
I'm actually disrespecting Sam Howell.
Who's all right? Then I'll flip it on you. Give me the guy. Who?
That's the Aaron Rodgers spot. We don't know McCarthy's going to be ready to go. We haven't seen him. He looked great in a half of a preseason
Aaron Rodgers
game.
is not insurance.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is a bridge quarterback, meaning J.J. McCarthy doesn't play.
Right.
J.J. McCarthy's ready to play.
How do we know that?
He just spoke again. He looked very healthy and looked like his weight is back to where it needs to be.
It's April 29th.
He's been medically cleared.
It's April. We don't know.
He's been medically cleared.
We don't know. I want to see
Guys
actual
come
football
back from
games.
the injuries all the time.
And if he isn't playing well and gets hurt again,
that's a different story.
Now you're going Sam Howell with a team that won how many games last year? 14?
How many Sams do you need to see show up there to have their career turns around? They are expert
one extra
in
one,
rehabilitating quarterbacks named Sam's
Sam
careers.
Ellinger available?
Keep naming it.
Sam Elliott?
I don't know. Sam Elliott. That'd be great.
I was going with actual quarterbacks. But.
I was going to say Sam I am.
Really? You don't think Howell's going to show up? Do you need Jordan Palmer to come on this show and say, don't sleep on Sam Howell if he gets a chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll do that.
That's the only thing that's going to change my mind.
That's what I'm saying. Rodgers is not insurance. Rodgers is taking the year. Rodgers isn't going somewhere to be insurance. Kirk Cousins is a possible insurance there to say we're going to only have a certain length of a, lack of a better phrase, leash for J.J. McCarthy. And I understand if McCarthy doesn't work out, Sam Howell is potentially a steep decline. I understand where you're going with this one, but I'm asking, who else would there have been for you?
They could have drafted someone.
Really? Why would they do that? Because McCarthy's the guy that they drafted last year, 10th overall. It's time.
Who immediately has a knee injury.
Okay. It's time. And he's going to be really good. And I don't want to hear anything more about it. I have spoken, to use the Mandalorian phrase. What else?
You're wearing skull
This
purple.
is the way.
We hit on this at the top of the show, so I think you might actually agree with me here. Didn't know we were going to start the show like that when I wrote this last night. But
Okay.
hey, Tyler Shuck's going to be the Saints week 1, starting quarterback.
I don't think that's an overreaction at all, buddy. I don't think it's an overreaction.
I mean, I heard Derek Carr speaking at his church yesterday, so I just didn't know if that kind of changed anything.
No,
either.
I think Derek Carr's done there.
Saying that he had an MRI
everything
report.
I hear, and again, Tom Pelissero is going to join us shortly, and I will try and get it. You know, as you know, information, men and women do not speak in absolutes. There's always plans. There's always appears to be. There's always, some phrasing that allows for the unexpected to become the reality of it. But I'm going to see, from everything I'm hearing, Derek Carr and the Saints are finished with one another. The only thing that would cause them to not be finished with one another is they've paid Derek Carr. And they would like some starts maybe for their money. But I think Tyler Shuck is going to be the quarterback starting week 1, bud. And good for him. He was the one who came on here and said, I'm the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft.
Yep.
And I'm the one with the most pro experience of anyone here at the draft because I've been injured. I've been cut. I've been told to go somewhere else. I have been hired to go somewhere else. He didn't use these phrases, but that's what's basically is in college football now. He's had different coordinators. He's gone to different stops. He's had to learn different playbooks. Does that sound like somebody? Like Jalen Hurts. When I interviewed him prior to the Super Bowl, I'm like, you're going to have another offensive coordinator next year, it seems. And you've had nothing but different offensive coordinators. And he said, tell me about it. Said the reigning MVP of the Super Bowl. So this wouldn't surprise me at all. Not an overreaction, Chris.
Thank you, Rich. A couple NBA ones real quick. I think the Cavs just scored like 83 more points. Heat culture is dead. It's time for Miami to move on from Pat Riley.
Wow. Do you really believe this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it should have got rid of him years ago, honestly. What are they doing?
I'm not ready to say he's lost his touch.
He's fumbled the bag on acquiring superstars and keeping them in Miami with the last,
I don't know,
since
man.
LeBron left?
Like I said, in our previous segment, if this was Nico Harrison, we would be blowing him up. You let Jimmy Butler walk, your team makes the playoffs only to get blown out, and you don't have your first-round draft choice. Right? They don't have 11th overall now.
Pretty big blunder.
Not great. But I can't sit here and say he's lost his touch. I won't do that. You can, but I won't. But I understand where I accept this in the spirit in which it's intended.
Thank you.
What else?
Last one. And Rich, this goes back to what your point was years ago.
Boy,
Rich.
that take is hot. I might need to, have an icy hot here.
Tonight will be Giannis' last game with the Bucs.
So this means what? He will force a trade?
They lose and he's out.
What do you mean? Where he says
Yeah, he's going to demand a trade this summer.
To where?
I think that makes the most sense. I mean, look, ESPN is already pushing the Lakers narrative. Oh, pair him with Luka. Cool. Yeah, obviously. I think that makes the most sense is OKC. They got all the draft capital in the world. You could flip Chet and one of the Jalen Williamses. Take your pick. They have two of them. And they 4 or 5 number ones. Flip it to Milwaukee. They get a chance to rebuild. And now you got Shea and Giannis and then Lou Dort or whoever else. And then they can make a title run with their 2 big superstars.
I'll buy it. I don't think it's an overreaction. We've seen crazier things happen.
We have.
Certainly with Dame not going to be there next year with an Achilles injury.
And Giannis is, that's how Dame got to Milwaukee in the first place. Giannis was like, I need more superstars to win here, or I might be, there were the Miami rumors, Golden State rumors. And so I think now it's time.
How about this one? They should never have gotten rid of Jrue Holiday. Ever.
I don't know. I mean,
dude.
Not quite a superstar on Dame's level.
I thought that would be, catnip for you right there.
I mean, look, he was great for Boston,
man.
But he was, the 4th or 5th guy.
I get it, but what he does is unseen.
Sure.
It doesn't show up in stat lines.
Agreed. He wasn't a superstar like Dame was, though.
I agree with you on that front.
Obviously, the Dame Milwaukee experiment didn't, big disappointment.
I know. And the thing that stands out about him, and I think you'll agree with this, TJ, is Jrue Holiday was a Celtic Olympian who actually played.
I mean, he did get some minutes.
You know what I mean?
But now,
someone who Steve Kerr said on the bench, I'm playing you.
But now he's out, though. So, maybe he shouldn't have.
You guys are the worst.
Look,
I mean, one didn't even make it.
I didn't say
one made it because Kawhi got hurt.
True.
One made it and didn't really play much. And then one actually played a lot.
I cannot wait for Celtics Knicks.
And Jrue Holiday played.
Because it is going to be embarrassing what happens to the Knicks.
Ooh.
Oh, baby. I really love this show. And sometimes on this program, the fruit hangs so low.
You can't help but
just so easy for me to do it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.